Hi, welcome back to Cold Aaron's Kitchen. It's Wednesday, I'm Wade, and I wanted something different today. I wanted some macaroni and cheese. So I reached into the cupboard, and I pulled out this box, and I'm going, wow, a lot of those ingredients are in my dog's food. I don't think so. We're going to make some adult macaroni and cheese. How's that sound? I got a pan here, warming up, and we're going to put into it 4 or 3 tablespoons of butter. We're going to be making a basic bechamel. While that's melting, I'm going to show you another pan, heavily boiling water, and we're going to put some excessive salt in this. Now remember I told you before that you got to put your salt in after it starts boiling so it doesn't go to the bottom and start pitting. And the salt actually helps pasta break down just a little bit. Throw in some olive oil. Gotta have olive oil. And we're going to be using penne pasta, about 3½ cups of it. Now that's going to come back up to a boil, and we're going to cook that to an al dente stage, which means when you pick it up it's firm, when you bite into it it's chewy. And firm and chewy is good. Okay, the butter here is melting. I'm going to bring the temperature up a little bit. Now to this 3 tablespoons of butter, I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of flour. What we're making here is a basic bechamel sauce. A bechamel is simply a white sauce. It's the first sauce that a saucier or a junior chef learns to make. The combination of the flour and the butter is called a roux, and that is spelled R-O-U-X. Doesn't look a thing like roux, but that's the way it's spelled. I've never figured that one. It's kind of like, how do you spell Pend Oreille County? Look it up on a map, you're going to know, no, that's not working. But you want to cook your roux. Yeah, we're going to need a little bit more flour in here because we're going to make a light bechamel. Now I realize that the boxed macaroni and cheese, for all its glory, the fact that it's like $1 a box, and then you put in, 50 cents worth of milk, quick, easy dinner. But we're adults now, aren't we? Shouldn't we have the good stuff? And this doesn't cost that much. I mean, really, and the amount that you make with this particular recipe, you're eating leftovers for days. And I kind of like the leftovers. So, we've got our flour in our water. Need a little more light there. Flour and water, or flour and butter together. And you see how that's curled up nicely. So we're going to put some half and half in there. Maybe a cup. Because we're not looking for an incredibly thick sauce. And I need to switch implements here. Need a whip. So whip the half and half. What half and half is half cream, half milk. Half whole milk. Now you see how that tightened up really well? Now we want to loosen it back up, so we're going to put in a little more of this, because we're going to start adding some cheese to this here pretty quick. About another 1.5 cups. While we're getting this thing put together and creamed out, we'll be back in a few minutes. As you can see, the bechamel sauce is creamed up nicely. We need to back off so we don't steam up. Now to this, we're going to add 1.25 pounds of cheese. It's a mixture of cheeses. There's cheddar, there's mozzarella, there's Swiss, there's a little feta in there too. This is a great dish to use up cheeses that are in your refrigerator that might be getting close to being not there anymore. So what we're going to do is start adding handfuls of cheese to the bechamel sauce. And I know some people are out there going, wow, that looks like a lot of work. Well, what's your family work to you, huh? To know that the ingredients they're getting are whole and natural, that they're tasty, fresh. And if you make too much cheese sauce, that's not a big problem, because you can actually put it in the fridge, remelt it later, put it on broccoli, thin it out a little more, and you can put with thin slices of potato and onion in a casserole dish, and you've got potatoes au gratin. Potatoes au gratin, good stuff. We're going to have to do that one. Whip this stuff in and make sure it's melted nice and creamy. But right now, I just want a nacho. And we're going to add the rest of the cheese here. And you can buy pre-grated cheese, or you can grate your own, doesn't matter. There's some Parmesan in this too, because I like the tang of the Parmesan in my sauce. So, here we go. And we got this, we're going to take this down to low so it melts up slow. Now I'm going to continue standing here and stirring this until it's nice and smooth. And then we've got to wait until the pasta is al dente. And then we're going to show you the secret to excellent, excellent mac and cheese. Back in a few. Hi, we're back. Now I told you that I was going to give you the secret ingredient to a perfect mac and cheese. Right here. Bacon. Bacon, bacon, bacon. Now what I did was I took a pound of bacon and I baked it on a baking rack with a cookie sheet. The grease drains off and you're left with a beautiful, beautiful thing. If you don't have a baking rack, get one. They don't cost that much and they're fantastic for making bacon. Now this is almost a full pound with a little bit reserved for our second dish. So what we're going to do is grab our pasta. Let's put a pad down for that. Grab our pasta, which has been cooked to al dente and drained. We're going to throw the bacon in the mac and cheese. There we go. And then we're going to start adding cheese sauce to it. We're going to put about half of it right away, just like that. Now, as I said before, it doesn't matter if there's any leftovers because we can do other things with them. You don't want it exceptionally soupy, but you do not want it dry. And we may not have all that many leftovers because this is just looking gorgeous. We don't just want to hop into that pot and have dinner already, but we're going to put this through phase 2. We're going to bake this. Baking of mac and cheese is a fantastic thing. That should be enough. Now if I can keep everybody's fingers out of this cheese sauce, I'll be able to do something else with it. Not so much, it looks like. Okay, so now, move that out of the way. I've got my baking dish here. You can use a metal one, you can use a glass one, you can use a disposable aluminum one, it doesn't matter, but a baking dish is very important. So what we're going to do is transfer all of this goodness right into there. And I want to get a scraper. I'm not losing any of this stuff. Beautiful creamy sauce. And I need something to hold that with because the handle's a little warm for me. Handle's a little warm, so I had to grab a pad. We're just scrape that beautiful creamy cheesy sauce off onto it, just like that. Spread everything out. And we're going to pop this into a delicious oven at 350 degrees for about 25 minutes. Now while that's working though, we have something else going on. Got another pan over here heating up, and I'm looking for my olive oil. Throw some olive oil in it, because we're going to have some vegetables to go with this. We have some green beans. Now I like to make my green beans with a touch of slivered onion, and I do mean slivered. I chop these poor little guys up really hard. Move them around the pan. You can hear them sizzling there. And we're not going to cook them down too far at this point, because everything's got to cook together to develop its flavor. To that we're going to add a cup and a half of thinly sliced mushrooms. Why? Because I love mushrooms. And again, we're just going to get some oil flipped up around them so they cook up nicely. And then we're going to add about 4 cups of frozen green beans. Yeah, you see a little water on those, but that's fine. That water is going to combine with the oil, is going to combine with the mushrooms and the onion. We need to put a pinch of salt on there because salt starts a chain reaction, starts to sweat the moisture out of all the vegetables. We'll throw some pepper on top of that, because, well, I like pepper. Yes, you too. I have a dog named Pepper. So, we're going to throw the lid on that, and we're going to let that simmer on low while the mac and cheese is cooking. We'll be back to you. Hi, we're back. Beans are done, and they look gorgeous. Now, prior to finishing them off, I added 3 slices of, well, you guessed it, bacon, because bacon is good. Bacon's the bomb. That's what we like, is bacon. And we're going to add some of this not packaged macaroni and cheese to this. Macaroni and cheese with a homemade cheese sauce with bacon in it. That's just gorgeous. Now, I'm looking at this. I've got to give this a shot here, so bear with me. That's really hot. It just came out of the oven. You try this, you'll never go back to the box, really.